I've received a very large amount of questions recently about Gamma. I'm assuming operator Drewski making a video about it played kind of a big role in bringing a large amount of new people in the community. And after replying to so many questions in my comment, I decided to make a quick video to cover the basics of Gamma. It's gonna be easier this way, so you know what you're getting yourself into. We're gonna talk about the health system, crafting, repairs, and finish with all kind of various tips to help you fully enjoy the game. So let's get started. The only thing I'm not gonna talk about in this video is how to install Gamma. There's an absolutely amazing step-by-step write-up on the Discord that you just have to follow carefully. It's actually really simple as long as you're not skipping any steps and paying attention. And if you have any issues, you should check the installation problem section. I can guarantee someone else already had whatever issue you're having and you'll find quickly how to fix it there. With that out of the way, let's get started with the health system. It's made of a couple different parts. Your psi health is at the top. The lower it gets, the more disoriented you will get, starts to have auditory hallucinations, and if it goes to 0, you'll simply die. Any mutant with psi attacks, like controllers, will affect your psi health, phantoms being honestly one of the biggest causes of psi death in Gamma. Having an armor and helmet with decent psi protection and using psi block should be enough to survive most situations though. But let's talk about the heart of the health system, which is your general health and your limbs. Every time you get hit, you will lose some general health, and depending on where you got damage, your limbs can get damaged too. If your main health goes to 0, you die. If your head or torso go to 0, you also die, even if you have some main health left. Try to think about these three as 3 independent health bars, and none of them can go to 0. The more your arms get damaged, the more shaky your aim will get, and for your legs, your movement speed will suffer, and sprinting will make things even worse. Pretty like obvious stuff. You won't die from these limbs going to 0 though, you're just gonna suffer the debuffs. Restoring your main health is pretty easy. Most medical items have health restoration and they will slowly heal you back. Your limbs need to be healed in 2 steps though. You will see that most healing items have one of 2 stats: first aid and post-heal. When a limb is damaged, using a first aid item will fill it with a yellow bar. For example, a basic bandage will heal my torso, arms and legs. This is temporary heal that will decrease over time. Good to heal quickly in case of emergency and to keep fighting, for example, but to heal your limb permanently, you will need to apply a post-heal item after you use the first aid. It will convert the yellow temporary health into permanent health. Here I'm using Yadulin for example. You can notice that it healed permanently all my limbs, as advertised, except my head, because the bandage I used before didn't apply first aid to it. All these items have side effects though, like making you dizzy, hungry, thirsty, sleepy, so plan accordingly if you're expecting a big fight and using a lot of them. Every side effect has a pretty easy cure. For example, dizziness can be cured with glucose shots, caffeine tablets, sleepiness with cocaine or energy drinks. Like, you just have to check out all the items and what benefits they offer. And remember that if it's not an emergency, standing next to a campfire will heal your main health slowly, sleeping will heal your limbs, and using a doctor is generally much cheaper than using medicine to patch you up. As you know, you cannot buy guns or armors at traders in Gamma. You will have to loot them on dead bodies or in stashes and repair them by yourself. So knowing how the repair system works is extremely important, so let's cover the basics. The repair system is actually very similar to the body health system, in the sense that a weapon has an overall condition, similar to your main health, and different parts that work pretty much like your limbs. The overall condition will influence how fast the parts get damaged, so keeping a weapon clean is very important for its durability. And each individual part will have side effects the more they get damaged, again very similar to your limbs. A damaged barrel, for example, will greatly reduce the damage and armor penetration of your weapon. A damaged ball carrier will increase the chance of your weapon jamming, and so on. Okay, so first you need weapon parts, and you get weapon parts by disassembling other weapons. You can either field strip a weapon, so basically disassembling a little bit of it for free, or you can fully disassemble a weapon using a multi-tool, It's gonna destroy the weapon and use a little bit of your multi-tool durability, but it's gonna give you all the parts from the weapon and a little bit of extra scrap. Generally, I will simply field strip weapon and throw them away. I will only disassemble the rare ones or ones that I know have parts that I'm actively looking for. The easiest way to find which parts fits into your weapon is simply to hover over it. It's gonna highlight them in your inventory. After you gather all the parts you need, you're gonna have to repair them. And one very important point is that you can only repair parts that have at least 60% condition. So you can just sell the ones you can't repair to your technician to make some money. And depending on which part you want to repair, you'll either need a file, a ramrod, or a multi-tool to fix it. Now that we fixed all our parts, we need to check which repair kit we need to fix our weapon. You can find this very easily in the details. Repair kits can be bought at the technician. If you don't find the one you need, it means that the supply level of your technician is too low. You can increase its supply level by doing mission for him when they ask you to bring tools, and wait a couple days for their inventory to upgrade. If you don't have a level technician, you can always craft the repair kits, and of course if you're lucky you can find them in stashes. When you have your repair kit, you need access to a workbench. Either craft one by yourself, which is possible in Gamma and the hideout system, or simply have a toolkit in your inventory and open it from there. And the last option is going to a technician and asking to rent his vice for a while. From there, you simply switch the parts of your weapon with the new ones. That's pretty much it. If for some reason you're missing a part, let's say here that I cannot find a barrel for the life of me, with the repair kit that corresponds to your weapon in your inventory, you can right-click your weapon and choose Maintain Part. It will repair any part in your weapon to 100%. It's very useful if you're missing some parts and really want to use a weapon. It will consume a charge of the repair kit though. Technically, if you have a lot of repair kits or a lot of money to buy them, you can completely skip the finding parts and repairing them part and just maintain your weapon directly. It's very expensive, but it makes things easier. Okay, and now we have a weapon with brand new parts. The only thing left is to repair the overall condition of the weapon. Any repair kit will do for this. The only thing you have to check is the minimum condition needed for the repair kit to be used. And always check in the repair kit details what are the best materials to use with the repair kit you're using to get some nice bonus repairs. And that's it, we got a brand new weapon. Armor repair works exactly the same way, you'll just get the parts from disassembling other armors. The only but big difference is that changing parts in your armor with better ones will increase the overall condition of the armor. And repairing the armor directly will increase the condition of the parts. Basically like the two stats are linked, so it makes armors much easier to repair than weapons. Generally, I will just switch some parts to get a minimum general condition to be able to use my repair kits and repair the armor with repair kits directly. Okay, now let's quickly talk about crafting, because crafting is extremely important and pretty easy in Gamma. First, you will need to find toolkits to be able to craft. Most of them you will find in stashes, basic, advanced and expert for most items, the gunsmithing tools to craft ammo, and the drug making kit to craft medical supplies. All recipes are unlocked by default in Gamma, so it's just a matter of finding the parts you need to be able to craft whatever you want. You get parts by disassembling most items and junk you find around. You can simply right click on any item, go to details and see what parts they're gonna give you if you disassemble them. The only thing you have to pay attention is these two little icons. That one means that this item is a basic part and cannot be broken down. This icon, though, means that this item is part of a recipe and is needed to craft better items. So yes, you might still want to disassemble it because it gives you some juicy parts, but you should always keep 1 or 2 spares just in case you're gonna need them in recipes. A good example of this are the broken detectors and the broken flashlights. They give some very interesting parts, but they are necessary in all the basic recipes to get better devices, so you should always keep a couple of them. Okay, I think we covered the basics enough. You should definitely check out this video if you want to learn more about Gamma. At the beginning I made it for people playing Iron Man, but it's full of useful tips and gameplay advices that can be really useful if you want to get better at the game. Okay guys, stay safe out there.